If you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. Do you think that I count the days? There is only one day left, always starting over. It is given to us at dawn and taken away from us at dusk. I'm going to smile, and my smile will sink down into your pupils, and heaven knows what it will become. Hell is other people. Man is condemned to be free, because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. It is up to you to give life a meaning. Freedom is what we do with what is done to us. We are our choices. Better to die on one's feet than to live on one's knees. It's quite an undertaking to start loving somebody. You have to have energy, generosity, blindness. There is even a moment right at the start where you have to jump across an abyss. If you think about it, you don't do it. I'm alone in the midst of these happy, reasonable voices. All these creatures spend their time explaining, realizing happily that they agree with each other. In heaven's name, why is it so important to think the same things all together? 3 o'clock is always too late or too early for anything you want to do. When the rich wage war, it's the poor who die. You are your life and nothing else. Everything has been figured out, except how to live. Life begins on the other side of despair. My thought is me. That's why I can't stop. I exist because I think, and I can't stop myself from thinking. At this very moment, it's frightful if I exist. It is because I am horrified at existing. I am the one who pulls myself from the nothingness to which I aspire. I want to leave, to go somewhere where I should be really in my place, where I would fit in, but my place is nowhere. I am unwanted. She believed in nothing. Only her skepticism kept her from being an atheist. Like all dreamers, I confuse disenchantment with truth. All that I know about my life, it seems I have learned it in books. Words are loaded pistols. Life has no meaning a priori. It is up to you to give it a meaning, and value is nothing but the meaning that you choose. The more sand that has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. In love, one and one are one. I am going to outlive myself. Eat, sleep, sleep, eat. Exist slowly, softly, like these trees, like a puddle of water, like the red bench in the streetcar. It is therefore senseless to think of complaining sense. Nothing foreign has decided what we feel, what we live, or what we are. Smooth and smiling faces everywhere, but ruin in their eyes. So this is hell. I'd never have believed it. You remember all we were told about, the torture chambers, the fire and brimstone, the burning marl, old wives' tales. There's no need for red-hot pokers. Hell is other people. I exist, that is all, and I find it nauseating. To forget. How childish. I feel you in my bones. Your silence screams in my ears. You may nail your mouth shut. You may cut out your tongue. Can you keep yourself from existing? Will you stop your thoughts? I suppose it is out of laziness. that the world is the same day after day. Today it seemed to want to change, and then anything could happen. I felt myself in a solitude so frightful that I contemplated suicide. What held me back was the idea that no one, absolutely no one, would be moved by my death, that I would be even more alone in death than in life. She smiled and said with an ecstatic air, "It shines like a little diamond. What does this moment? It is round. It hangs in empty space like a little diamond. I am eternal. Ilni adi ralit qdans lakshan. There is no reality except in action." It answers the question that was tormenting you. My love, you are not one thing in my life, not even the most important, because my life no longer belongs to me, because you are always me. You must be like me. You must suffer in rhythm. The worst part about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth. I had found my religion. Nothing seemed more important to me than a book. I saw the library as a temple. Through the lack of attaching myself to words, my thoughts remain nebulous most of the time. They sketch vague, pleasant shapes and then are swallowed up. I forget them almost immediately. We do not know what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we are. That is the fact. People who live in society have learned how to see themselves in mirrors as they appear to their friends. I have no friends. Is that why my flesh is so naked? Man is what he wills himself to be. Only the guy who isn't rowing has time to rock the boat. Nothing happens while you live. The scenery changes. People come in and go out. That's all. There are no beginnings. Days are tacked onto days without rhyme or reason. An interminable, monotonous addition. I never could bear the idea of anyone's expecting something from me. It always made me want to do just the opposite. That God does not exist, I cannot deny. That my whole being cries out, for God I cannot forget. Lanfer sest lesarters. Every word has consequences, every silence too. Existence is an imperfection. To know what life is worth, you have to risk it once in a while. There is only one day left, always starting over. It is given to us at dawn, and taken away from us at dusk. You know, it's quite a job starting to love somebody. You have to have energy, generosity, blindness. There is even a moment, in the very beginning, when you have to jump across a precipice. If you think about it, you don't do it. Man is condemned to be free, condemned because he did not create himself, yet is nevertheless at liberty. And from the moment he is thrown into this world, he is responsible for everything he does. Better a good journalist than a poor assassin. I exist. It is soft, so slow, and light. It seems as though it suspends in the air. It moves. As for me, I am mean. That means that I need the suffering of others to exist. A flame in their hearts. When I am all alone, I am extinguished. One always dies too soon or too late, and yet one's whole life is complete at that moment. with a line drawn neatly under it, ready for the summing up. You are your life and nothing else. As far as men go, it is not what they are that interests me, but what they can become. Little flashes of sun on the surface of a cold, dark sea. I found the human heart empty and insipid everywhere except in books. I think that is the big danger in keeping a diary. You exaggerate everything.